So it's a Grape Explorer talking about today. So one of the biggest selling wines today is Sauvignon Blanc. And Sauvignon Blanc is an interesting grape because, back in the day, Chardonnay was everybody's favorite. And Sauvignon Blanc was off to the side a little bit. Then all of a sudden, Sauvignon Blanc is just emerging in faster and faster sales. I mean, you see New Zealand is booming. You see Sancerre. Everybody loves Sancerre. Prices are rising higher and higher and higher. We go to Bordeaux, and Sauvignon Blanc is one of the most instrumental, if you want to say, grapes in Bordeaux. But there's another area that kind of flies under the radar that a lot of, especially Americans, don't understand or don't know, and we're here to explain it. This is called Touraine. And Touraine is 100% Sauvignon Blanc from the Loire Valley. If you're not really familiar with Touraine, I'm going to point it out on our big map. And you can see all the way to the top here, you've got Touraine, which is the actual city of Touraine. And this whole area right here is Touraine. It's quite large because they have all different areas. They have, if you want to say, many producers. A lot of the producers that actually make Sancerre and make Pouilly-Fumé also make wines in Touraine here, but they're a specialist. And we wanted to talk about this wine here today because this is from a family which is called the Charbonnier family, and they've been producing these wines for about 30 years. And these are really mineral toned. When I say that, everybody that loves Sancerre, you got to look at our book because this is one of my oldest books that I have, but it's on the Loire Valley, and you can see there are many producers of Touraine that probably don't even get a chance to sell here in the United States. A lot of the wines are just sold back in France. But at the same time, you're starting to see an emergence of this area. And the reason why is because Sancerre prices have gone skyrocketing because of demand. Everybody loves Sancerre. And I always say the closest wine that can actually match up to Sancerre as far as style, because you have Pouilly-Fumé, and that has obviously its next door neighbor. But Touraine, if you really taste these wines, I call them a poor man's Sancerre. And the reason why, because they have a lot of the similarities, because when you smell the wine, it has that schisty or flinty kind of quality to it. And beautiful. This is 2023 vintage, so it's fresh. And we wanted to point out the label. So you can see this beautiful label right here. You can see it right here. It's Domaine Madeleine, and beautiful wine. So let's take a sip of this wine. This is beautiful wine. It's got a lot of energy to it, but it's got a lot of that pear and apple and citrus tones, but really pinpoint. This is a beautiful bottle of wine, and quite honestly, these wines are under $15 a bottle. And so Touraine right now is becoming more and more popular in America. And I think it's justifiable because, quite honestly, when you look at an area like this is a big area of France. So the wines are always going to be great value. You'll never see Touraine, in that $30 range or $25 range. You might even see it for $11.99 or $12.99. That's considered a great value in my book, especially for this. It's Appellation. By the way, we got a comment the other day, and I want to give a shout out. Somebody had actually asked me where I got this map, and I got this map over 30 years ago from the French Trade Commission, and it's about all of the Appellation in all of France. It really highlights a lot of the appellations on the sides here. But yeah, I just wanted to at least explain, this is a map that you really cannot go out and buy. This is more, you'll see this more in France than you'll see this in America, but it's a beautiful map. And somebody actually asked me where I got this map, so I just wanted to kind of share that. But it does highlight a lot of these areas that I'm very intrigued about. I love Touraine. I think it's a great wine. I think that you should go out and find it. If you love white wine like me, and you love Sauvignon Blanc, and the rising prices of Sauvignon Blanc today are going crazy, especially California and, Chile, and New Zealand, you're starting to see that grape grow more and more. But when you go to, this is where you get the value. So if you want a really beautiful bottle of wine, look to Touraine. Again, this is a Grape Explorer, always looking to share great value wines. And I think I brought this one to the table here today. This is beautiful. This is Domaine Madeleine Touraine Sauvignon Blanc. Cheers.